You can be seated, please. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the White Coat Ceremony for the PA Class of 2022. President and Mrs. Feingold, Dr. Templeton, Dean Loughran, Dean Bondoc, faculty and staff, families and loved ones of the class of 22, thank you all for joining us today. And finally, to all of you, the Chatham University Master of PA Studies class of 22, congratulations. Thanks for all of your hard work, your resiliency, and your compassion. My name is Judy Truscott, and I have the honor of being the program director for this program. I've seen several classes walk across this stage during the ceremony, and I can assure you that this class is incredibly unique. Many completed their for various reasons, but I'm going to give you some different reasons here. Many completed their undergraduate degree right at the beginning of the pandemic, and here we are 2 years later still with some of the same challenges. We didn't really even know what their faces looked like for most of the program because they had masks on most of the time, so it's really great. It was a great day when we were able to see their faces, and it's great to be able to see your faces here today without masks. We also did something really unusual, which I hope we never do again. We used baby monitors during their program here. And we did that while they performed physical exams in one room, and the faculty member would be in another room through a one-way mirror, and just so we could hear them. So that was really unique and an interesting expense item to put through our budget. But regardless of these crazy challenges, here they are today, ready to begin their careers. So congratulations, we're all really proud of you. Now a little bit about today's ceremony. The event is called the White Coat Ceremony, and later in this ceremony, each student will be coated in a long white lab coat to symbolize their transition from student to our colleagues. The White Coat Ceremony has been used as a rite of passage for PA schools and medical schools to welcome students into the profession. This entire ceremony today is planned and coordinated by staff and student volunteers, and I hope that you all enjoy the ceremony. It's really special to us and special to the students. So I just wanted to thank the White Coat Committee. It was run by Victor Capone, and our students who helped with it, Natalie Gardenier, Casey Knoll, Jen Voss, Megan Gazzardi, Jamie Salas, Alec Ettlinger, Annie DeLiso. Thank you all so much for the time that you put into this celebration. after today, our students are going to move throughout Pennsylvania and across the country. We're so proud to have them as colleagues, so please support them as they prepare for their career, and they still have one final step. They need to take their PANCE, their boards. So just still continue to support them as they study for the boards. And to all of you, don't forget about the time that you've been here with us. We will remember you very fondly. We're here for you. We can support you as you begin your career, and if you have any transitions throughout your career, we are here to support you. Thanks everyone again for attending. Congratulations, class of 2022, for all of your hard work and for making it here. I'm really gonna miss you, and I hope that I continue to see you and you invite us to your weddings and all kind of great stuff after you leave here. So at this time, I'd like to welcome Chatham President Dr. David Feingold to share a few words.
Thanks very much, everyone, and it's a great pleasure to join Judy in welcoming you all here for our 22 white coat ceremony. As I think everyone gathered from the very enthusiastic applause when we welcomed this class, it's wonderful to be back in person. This is the first time we're doing this in 3 years, and it's great to see the energy, and I know what an important milestone it is for all of you, and so we're delighted to be able to celebrate that together. I want to offer a specific thanks to the family and friends who are here with us today to celebrate our newest Chatham graduates. Your support and encouragement throughout this 2-year journey has been vital to helping our graduates today reach this important milestone. I also want to give some special thanks to the faculty, staff, preceptors, and others who have given so much of themselves to ensure that you got the best education possible to prepare you for the careers you're going to be joining after you complete your boards. I want to give a particular thanks to Judy Truscott for providing strong leadership for our PA program during these very challenging times. To the members of the PA class of 2022, congratulations. Graduating from this program is a huge accomplishment at any time. The fact that you've made it here means you were accepted into the most selective program at Chatham University. That you've been able to master what for many of you was an entire new way of learning through problem-based learning, and to survive the gauntlet of 9 different clinical placements in this second year. But this is not a normal time, as we all know. On top of all of these challenges, you all had to deal with the multiple difficulties posed by COVID, though I have to say I didn't know about the baby monitors, but we're going to keep our eye out for that. This is the first class in the history of not just this program, but all of Chatham, who has spent their entire education in the midst of a pandemic. The fact you were able to clear all of these hurdles and make it to today's ceremony means you embody Chatham's mission to prepare world and work-ready graduates to take on the many challenges that you will be facing throughout your lives and careers. The white coat ceremony will always have a special place in my heart. I joined Chatham just over 6 years ago, almost this month. And the first week I turned up, my first day, they said, you know, here's your office, here's your ID, and oh, by the way, you have a graduation this Saturday. I said, what? I thought we had December and April, and they said, oh, but we have this one really special group, and so you get to do your first white coat ceremony. So before I'd even finished unpacking, I had to get ready for that graduation. And so I want to share with you a little secret I learned as I was getting ready. And that is that the Chatham PA program could actually offer the solution to how we deliver high-quality, affordable health care throughout the U.S. I got this insight from one of our trustees, Kent McElhatton, who at the time was the CEO of Industrial Scientific. You all may recognize that. That's the really high-tech building on the bluff as you drive out to the airport. Well, Kent was talking to one of his good friends and a Woodland Road neighbor, Jeff Cohen, who at the time was the head of Allegheny General Hospital. And Kent was facing the same challenge that employers across the America is facing, which is, how do I deliver a really high quality healthcare option for all my employees and make it affordable? And so he said to Jeff, what would you do in my shoes? And Jeff said, oh, that's simple. All you have to do is hire a Chatham PA and then self-insure for everything that they can't cover in delivering care on site. And Jeff gave this advice from direct personal experience because he had a long-time series of Chatham PAs, including one of your faculty members, working for him in his office. So as you start on this next stage of your own healthcare career, I hope, as Judy has urged, that you'll stay in touch with us. Let us know about big life milestones that come your way. And if you do have any issues, please don't hesitate to come back and consult with us and see how we can help. I'd also ask you to think about helping us to continue to make the PA program thriving for years to come by acting when the opportunity presents itself as preceptors. Because as you know, one of our biggest challenges is making sure we have clinical placements for the future generation of PA students. On behalf of the entire Chatham community, I wish you all the very best with this next stage of your life and career.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, you remember, you know you have to answer. My name is Nicole Brown, and I am honored to be able to share these remarks as the class-selected faculty speaker today. I'd first like to welcome the family, friends, and significant others joining us here both in the chapel and via live stream who are here to support the graduates. Each of you have played a vital role in shaping these individuals into who they are today. You have supported and encouraged them through arguably some of the most stressful times in their life thus far. You've likely heard terms that made no sense among a ramble of conversations regarding remediations, learning issues, problem-based learning, clinical rotations, and more. And while you may not have known what in the world the students were referring to, you continue to provide guidance and support throughout these past 2 years. For that, myself, the faculty, and the class of 2022, thank you. I'd also like to take a moment to acknowledge all of those who cannot be here today. These people are equally important to our graduates and deserve a moment of reflection. Now, moving on to the class of 2022. Wow, here we are, the white coat ceremony. Take a deep breath, breathe it in, revel in it. This is a day that you will remember for the rest of your life. You are crossing the threshold from PA student to PA graduate and well on your way to earning the coveted -C in the coming weeks and months. You have worked tirelessly for the past 2 years in this program, being challenged in ways you probably could not have imagined prior to coming to school. Indulge me for a moment. Take yourself back to the first day of orientation. What emotions did you feel? Can you even remember? Anticipation, excitement, perhaps nervousness? All of those combined, plus 10 more. Many of these feelings may be circling back to how you feel now as you get ready to enter the world of medicine as a practitioner. The difference between now and then are the skills, knowledge, and experience that you have gained throughout your time here at Chatham. The hours of PBL, the repetition of bilaterally in documentation, remediations, and remediations, 9 clinical education experiences, examinations, quizzes, summative evaluations, and presentations. And all of this in the midst of a global pandemic. You have taken these challenges in stride and used them to fuel your passion instead of allowing them to curb your dreams and enthusiasm. That's not to say that this journey has been easy. Tears, frustration, fatigue, and perhaps an expletive or two may have escaped throughout your time at Chatham, but so has excitement and joy. For a bit of context, this cohort of students had me as an instructor in the first year of the program for the clinical skills for the PA courses, which is where they learn their physical examination technique that is essential to practice. The good kind of technique, not the bad habits kind, right? Anyway, my absolute favorite part of being an educator is witnessing each student's growth throughout the program. Having watched you all grow throughout the skills courses in the first year, go off to clinical rotations, come back and complete your summative evaluations, the transformation is exciting and rewarding to watch. Now, how many of you remember shaking before the first competency, saying, there is no way we can do vital signs, general appearance, skin, hair, and nails, and a lymphatics exam all under 10 minutes? Just not possible. Fast forward to Unit 6, you strode into the comprehensive competency, doing a head-to-toe physical examination in under 45 minutes with barely any nerves at all, or at least none that we could see. And that was just in the first year and in only one class. Combine that with all of the skills accumulated in all of your other courses in the first year, and you were prepared for clinical rotations. And guess what? You rocked those too. All of this is to say that the challenges throughout the program may have seemed daunting at the time, but as a plaque in my office notes, it always seems impossible until it's done. So, what happens now? What does the future hold for each of you? Where will your path lead you in life and in medicine? These are all questions that will be answered in time. But let's talk about some pointers for the journey. Because let's face it, it wouldn't be me if it didn't include a little bit of a pep talk. So 1, be inquisitive. The first year of practice will be a transition. You will go from having a preceptor by your side for each patient to being the primary responsible provider. That's a huge shift in thinking and responsibility that takes some time to adjust to. Give yourself grace in this. You will question the knowledge that's in your brain because the responsibility is higher now. That is normal. Take a deep breath. Use your self-directed learning skills. Lean on your colleagues and your supervising physician. Trust me, no one will think you are a bad PA because you ask questions. They will wonder if they never hear from you. They will wonder why you don't have any questions as a new graduate. Read about topics you don't understand or are not comfortable with. And I'm talking about all of the factors that encompass our patients. Religion, culture, gender identity, everything. Then, question how you can improve yourself as a person and a PA with this new information. As you already know, you can't know everything, but knowing what you don't know goes a long way in every aspect of humanity and in medicine. Number 2, take care of yourself. Yep, I'm really going to stand up here and talk about wellness during your white coat ceremony because it's just that important to your future. Burnout is real, and you need to do everything you can to prevent it. As you search for jobs, be sure to take into account what you want your life to look like and how to maintain a work-life balance that is sustainable for the long run. Then, once you get into said new job, have a little bit of fun. Go to a sporting event, hiking, a concert, whatever it is that fills your proverbial tank. But continue to ensure that you fill your tank regularly because an empty tank equals burnout fast. Also, don't forget to eat. This is also quite funny coming from me for the students and the faculty who know. But it sounds silly, but it's easy early in your career to skip meals. and making time for them will help tremendously. Number 3, get involved with your community, with your profession, with whatever interests you. There's a lot changing in this country right now. Getting involved will allow you to keep up with the changes that will inevitably affect your life and your practice as a PA. Join your state's PA association and learn and understand the legislation in your state. Understand the difference between state and federal legislation and how processes affect clinical practice in real time. Be prepared to have discussions regarding these changes with your patients, colleagues, friends, and acquaintances. If it hasn't happened already, you will become the point of contact for all medical questions to basically everybody who knows you. Number 4, remember your why. Many of you wanted to become PAs because of someone inspirational or an experience that affected you. Some of these experiences were positive and aspirational, and others left you hoping to make the world of medicine a better place. Regardless of your reason for why you chose this profession, don't forget your why when you get out into the field. Some of you may have seen on rotations or in prior medical experiences, but burnout and forgetting why you joined a profession can lead and make people jaded. This can happen to anyone, not just in medicine. But jaded providers are not who patients want to see in their time of need, and it's not who they deserve to see in their time of need. On the days where you have to deliver bad news, on the days where the OR case doesn't go as planned, the days where you are overbooked, the days where you have a waiting room full of sick people, and the days where your shift just doesn't seem to end. Remember your why. It will help to recenter you and get you through your day. So, be inquisitive, take care of yourself, get involved, and remember your why. 4 things. Got it? In closing, I want to wish each of you luck in your future endeavors. Study hard, pass the pants, don't forget about us, and please come visit. Oh, and one last thing. Do good in the world, as there's no such thing as too many good people. Congratulations, class of 2022. I now invite Alyssa Ababa to the stage.
Hello, everyone. You did it, you're here. All right. The Pi Alpha Honor Society recognizes exceptional PA students and graduates, with the motto of the society being scholarship, service, and leadership. 4 students from this class have demonstrated excellence in these traits and are the 2022 Pi Alpha Honor Society inductees. Alec Ecklinger, Elena Graziano, Megan Gazzardi, and Grace McCracken. Please stand to be recognized. It's also customary to nominate an alumnus or faculty to the Honor Society in recognition of their dedication to the Chatham PA program and the PA profession. This year, we recognize 2 individuals. Alumni inductee is Deanna Najera, class of 2006, who cannot be with us today, and honorary inductee Mark Hertwig, who many of you know as a PBL facilitator. The PA Student Award is also given annually to the student who best demonstrates change as a result of the Chatham PA program and progresses toward becoming an excellent, compassionate healthcare provider. Last December, Elena Costellas received the PA Student Award for the class of 2022. Please stand to be recognized, Elena. Congratulations to all of you. I now invite Natalie Sciarotto to the stage.
Congratulations, everyone. We were talking about how nice you all look. It's so nice to see you all cleaned up. So the PBL Award is given to the graduating student who best demonstrated outstanding and consistent performance utilizing problem-based learning skills. The 2022 PBL Award is presented to Maria Palumbo. I now invite Carrie Jack to the stage.
Hello. I'm glad I wore my heels so you can actually see me. Alrighty. So the clinical award is given to the graduating student who best demonstrated outstanding and consistent performance throughout the clinical year. The 2022 clinical award is presented to Maya Hackman. So each year, students vote for a Preceptor of the Year. So this year, the Preceptor of the Year goes to Dr. Abram Weimer of Highlands Hospital Emergency Department in Connellsville, PA. Dr. Weimer is not with us today, but we would like to thank him for precepting our students and giving a wonderful education to those of you who rotated with him. So at this time, I now invite Brenda Ely to the stage.
Everyone. I have to tell a little story on Nicole. When she talks about making sure you eat, we all know she follows her own advice. But I have to share what I witnessed. We got to ride together to Cleveland for a workshop last week. She reaches under the seat of her car and pulls up a cookie. I'm like, where did that come from? And how do you know there's not car fuzz on it? So she does follow her own advice. Okay, so I get to present the Service Award. The Service Award is given to the graduating student who best promotes outstanding and consistent delivery of service to the community. The 2022 Service Award is presented to Megan Gazzardi. I now invite Judy Truscott to the stage.
The Leadership Award is given to the graduating student who best demonstrated outstanding leadership and organizational skills for the betterment of the class, program, university, and/or profession. The 2022 Leadership Award is presented to Casey Knoll. Congratulations to all of the student award winners. I now invite Shul Lee and Medical Director Jonathan Winkle to the stage for the white coat presentation.
So the white coats are presented to the class of 2022 by their academic advisors. Associate Professor Alyssa Ababa. Okay, she's on the stage. All right, so we can have students line up. Alexandra Economos. Gwendolyn Alsace. Maya Hackerman. Danielle Landbach. Lee Milch. Sarah Miller. Jamie Salas. Assistant Professor Brenda Ely will now present white coats to her advisees. John Beaupre. Davis. Vanessa Fisher. Deanna Katic. Jessica Lombardi. Maria Menelaris. Christina Nguyen. Daniel Zemanek. Assistant Assistant Professor Carrie Jack will now present White Coats to her advisees. Ariel Clayman. Annie DeLiso. Swan Hao Dawn. Eric Dragos. Megan Gazzardi. Samantha Scott.
Boss.
Krista Boston. Now, I invite assistant professors Ali Janicki and Natalie Sherrato to the stage.
Assistant Professor Natalie Sherrato will now present white coats to her advisees. Layla Campbell. Mason Donnell. Natalie Gardenier. Nicole Klein. Grace McCracken. Casey Knoll. Associate Professor Nicole Brown will now present white coats to her advisees. Shannon Bickmore. Kelsey Calamaro. Elena Kostulis. Alec Etlinger. Anna Miller. Gabrielle Richards. Sydney Saunders. Assistant Professor Paige Sandrowski will now present white coats to her advisees. Notnail Etuma. Bridget Hughes. Lucille Lewis. Cameron McCabe. Cecily Miller. Maria Palumbo. Erica Salazzoni. We also recognize Elena Graziano, who was not able to attend today's ceremony. Congratulations to the Chatham University PA Studies class of 2022.
I ask the class of 2022 to stand and take the physician assistant professional oath found on the back of your program. All PAs who are present here today are invited to stand and recite the oath with us. Let us recite together. I pledge to perform the following duties with honesty, integrity, dedication, remembering always my primary responsibility is to the health, safety, welfare, and dignity of all human beings. I recognize and promote the value of diversity, and I will treat equally persons who seek my care. I will uphold the tenets of patient autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence, justice, and the principle of informed consent. I will hold in confidence the information shared with me, except where I am authorized to impart such knowledge. I will be diligent in understanding both my personal capabilities and limitations, striving to always improve my practice of medicine. I will actively seek to expand my intellectual knowledge and skills, keeping abreast of advances in medical art and science. I will work with other members of the healthcare team to assure compassionate and effective care of patients. I will uphold and enhance community values and use the knowledge and experience acquired as a PA to contribute to an improved community. I will respect my professional relationship with physicians and other members of the healthcare team. I recognize my duty to perpetuate knowledge within the profession. These duties are pledged with sincerity and on my honor. Congratulations. I now welcome our student speaker, who was selected by her classmates to share a few words, Anna Miller.
Hi, everybody. First off, you all look amazing in your white coats, I have to say. I am really, really grateful to be up here today, to get to take these next few minutes to stand up here and talk to you, 42 sitting in front of me, one virtually, who I know is also still here. I'm even more grateful that you all decided to have me up here because I know you were finally giving me a chance to redeem myself for the LSs I got in participation in PBL. I'm going for the exceeds here. Better late than never. Class, it took me a while to figure out how I wanted to address all of you today. I knew I could say class, classmates, friends, peers, soon-to-be physician assistants, homies, besties. None of it really seemed fitting. So I decided on family. Because that's what we became. Very quickly, the 44 of us became family. The most opinionated, unconventional, hilarious, and loyal family, to be precise. So family, let's get into this. The first thing I did was Google graduation speech ideas. Well, not Google, that's not a primary source. I did Access Med. I went on Access Medicine. Looked at graduation speech ideas, and it told me to follow the following format that I'm going to read. So I should thank the previous speaker, introduce myself, share a motivational quote, share some good advice, restate the motivational quote, create a call to action, and thank everybody for being here. So as you all expected, I'm not going to do any of the above. It was a really big deal to me today that I don't speak for any of you. I will speak to you, 43, but I will not speak for you. The individuals who you brought here today and the wonderful faculty, staff, and professors who are sitting next to us are people that you can speak to individually as you see applicable. But for now, my focus is just you all and the relationship that S44 created. I could say congratulations a million times, that I'm so proud of us, that we came so far, and that the best is yet to come. But that would be really typical. And you all knew if I was going to get up here, I was going to do anything but the typical. So I want to take us on a trip down memory lane, and I want to take some time for us to be as selfish as possible, because we deserve it. And then we'll watch a class PowerPoint to wrap things up for today. I want this trip down memory lane to be as meaningful and worthwhile as we can make it. So with that being said, I want to encourage you 43 to shut down as many senses as possible so that you can focus on letting your mind go wherever it pleases. I have to say that because about 85% of the 43 are type A personalities. They'll have to-do lists going on in their head. They'll try to think of the pathophys of cardiomyopathy, and I really need them to focus. You knew I was going to bring some psychology into this if I could. So for those of you that want to, I encourage you to close your eyes just while I take us on this trip down memory lane. That gets one of the senses out of the way. And it sounds silly, but I encourage you to either hold your hands together or sit on your hands. That way you feel grounded to the seat. You won't be touching your hair, your clothes, or twiddle your thumbs. And just try to listen to my voice and let your brain take you wherever it wants to go. So let's begin. I want you to think of the little version of you when you were a child and the first profession you ever wanted to be. My guess is at 6 years old, you didn't want to be a physician assistant. I could be wrong. Think of the first time you heard of a physician assistant and Googled their duties and responsibilities and thought, that might be the one for me. Think of the first time you opened the CASPA application and thought to yourself, maybe that 6-year-old profession doesn't sound too bad after all. Think of the first time you stumbled upon Chatham University and realized you fit their requirements but had no idea how to pronounce Chatham correctly. Think of where you were when you got the email asking you to come to an interview at Eastside campus and enter under the green awning. Think of how you felt leaving your interview, wondering what you could have said to make you stand out in a group of people all wearing pretty much the same suit. Think of where you were when you got the email or phone call telling you that you had been accepted to Chatham University's physician assistant program. Think of where you were when you found out that because of COVID, there would be a number of deferrals and thinking to yourself, well, now maybe I really don't stand a chance. Think of logging onto Zoom for the first day of orientation and seeing what felt like a million Brady Bunch-looking boxes of people's heads that were classmates who you didn't realize were soon going to turn into family. Think of the first day you walked up 42 stairs in Eastside for PBL. I went and counted the other day, just for this. And you realized that you were either really nervous or really out of shape, but either way, really out of breath. Think of the last time you walked up those 42 stairs in Eastside and realized that after 2 years, you were still out of shape. Think of the moment you were stressed and studying frantically for the medical terminology quiz at the very beginning of didactic year. Think of every time after that you wished so badly that just another one of our exams would slightly resemble that medical terminology quiz. Think of the first patient presentation you gave in PBL that was probably 7 minutes longer than it needed to be because you listed the patient's grandkids and dogs by name. Because at that point, everything was pertinent. Think of the last patient presentation you gave to your preceptor and realize that you explained an entire history, physical exam, differential list, and treatment plan in 17 seconds without an ounce of hesitation. Think of the first PBL evaluation where you had to find a way to go last and reword what the 7 classmates in front of you already said. We never did that. Kidding. Think of the last PBL evaluation where you were just congratulating your classmates on showering and showing up. Think of the time you realized that seeing the word strawberry cervix on an MCQ was the best and most relieving part of your day. Think of the first time you completed remediations and realized N was your least favorite letter of the alphabet, and 12-point Times New Roman font is super small when you're fighting for 22 lines. Think of pressing submit on the Unit 6 PMA. Think of the first time you walked into a competency and thought knocking and remembering your name was the hardest part, until you realized soon you'd be everting your lab partner's eyelid and trying to find their PMI. Think of the first time you walked into STAR and realized that you can't say call 911 because in that moment you were 911. Think of the time you attended PA prom and realized that some of your classmates are naturals at doing the worm on the bar floor. Think of the first time you walked into a patient room on your first rotation with 5 pens, 2 notebooks, OPQRST on the tip of your tongue, and contemplating on doing an entire neuro exam for a patient who presented with a cough. And think of the last time you walked into a patient room on your last rotation with no pens because your preceptor took them, and a smile because you knew whatever came your way you would be able to handle. Think of the first time you walked backwards into the OR and hoped with everything in you that you would spin the right way when getting gowned. Think of the times you looked at your classmates and realized that 44 brains really are better than 1. Think of the time you realized that the kindest and most genuine person you might ever meet is actually your classmate, and his name happens to be Nathaniel, also known as Nate. Think of the day you scheduled your pants. Think of the first day you looked at yourself in the mirror and thought, I realistically don't think I'll be able to make it to the end of this program. And think of when you looked at yourself in the mirror this morning and thought, I really made it to the end of this program. And last but not least, think of when you chose the most emotional classmate to give the speech today, who, by the way, is fighting back tears this entire time I speak. My sweet family, you can open your eyes if you would close them. This moment is yours and absolutely no one else's. You did this. And I know many people, places, and things helped you along the way, but you did this. No one else sat there during an exam or a patient encounter, or a 7-hour surgery, or a night where you sat in your room and had to beg yourself to just find your why on why you were going to keep going. That was you, and that makes you strong. Those were only a quarter of the memories I could have brought up today, but the rest are going to be our secrets for a lifetime. The other thing I wanted to do today was find something that all 44 of us had in common. And let me tell you, that was extremely difficult. We are all 44 beings with drastically different senses of humor, points of view, opinions, and interests. But I found something. I have to emphasize to everyone else here who is not in the 43 listening of my classmates that this is the most unselfish group of individuals I have ever witnessed. And while that sounds amazing and admirable, it can also take a toll on a person and cause a lot of individual battles and hardships. What we all have in common is that there are things that happened these past 2 years that were pushed to the side because, well, you were in PA school. And it would have been selfish acknowledging it. You would have felt bad if you weren't studying. But today, if I do anything, I hope I give you all the time to reflect on those situations and the encouragement to let yourself feel fully, kindly, gently, and without a single ounce of regret. The situations could be anything, and they'll be different for each and every one of you. And what's special about this moment is that I have no idea what's popping into any of your heads. And what's more special is that I don't have to know what you all went through personally in order to appreciate those times and give them the care that they deserve. And because you might have pushed these feelings so far into the back of your mind, I want to bring some things to light. Maybe what comes to your head is something that was happy. Maybe it was an accomplishment, a celebration, a success, a growth, or overcoming a fear. Maybe it was something that brings back feelings of elation and joy that didn't get recognized because you felt like it would have taken away from your studying. Maybe what comes to your head is something that was sad. Maybe it was a loss of a person or other being in your world, a loss of a relationship, an illness, a fear, or a loss of self. Maybe it was something that brings back feelings of depression and fright that didn't get recognized because you felt like it would have taken away from your studying. Whatever or whoever is coming to your mind right now matters. It always has. And I'm sorry if any of you felt like time was taken away from these situations that deserved much more. I hope you remember that what matters to you doesn't have to matter to anyone else, nor does it have to make any ounce of sense. It doesn't need validation from friends, family, peers, or society. You all are brave and undeniably resilient. I don't have to know an ounce of what your mind and soul is feeling to appreciate that it's there. And a reminder that arguably the hardest thing we will face is treating ourselves with the same gentleness that we treat patients. We ask patients every encounter to be some form of vulnerable so that we can do our job and we can care for their medical needs in entirety. Imagine if we practiced what we preach and also made a conscious effort to be vulnerable. Now, the word vulnerable is thrown around a lot, but its meaning shouldn't go unnoticed. And the other battle is that some people, even some in this room, probably think that being vulnerable means being weak. Vulnerability, going into a situation with absolutely no guarantees. I know 99% of you think that that sounds awful. It's not second nature. Society really likes to preach that being prepared means having 89 potential outcomes of a situation already outlined in your head before you jump. But hear me out. Maybe being prepared is trusting yourself enough to know that whatever does come your way, you will handle in some fashion, like you have these past 2 years. So what I want to leave you with is a variety of options instead of directions and guarantees, because that would be a waste of your time, and I am no one to guide each and every one of you in your lives. So family, go move to that new town, city, state, or country, or don't. Stay in your hometown. Take the job or decline. Buy the plane ticket or stay home with your own company. Say I love you first or never say it at all. Try a specialty you never thought you'd get into, or stick with one you've always had your mind on. Follow the path every single person around you always thought you would. Or play hopscotch with it and reverse a couple times instead. Whatever you do, however you do it, and wherever you go, trust and believe that you'll catch yourself when you fall. Falling will never define how successful you are. Treat yourself just as gentle as you treat your patients. Be as unbiased with your decisions as you are with your patients. Now, you've heard this next line from me before, but I have to say it again. No one can define what it means for you yourself to be happy, safe, and successful. Not me, not the people you brought here today, not anyone. You are extraordinary individuals. And when you fall, because we will, we'll all fall at some point. And it might be in medicine, it might be in your personal life. But if you fall and you can't pick yourself up, I hope you remember that there will always be a GroupMe message with 43 other people who are going to help you pick yourself up. Whether the GroupMe is on mute or not, someone will be there to help you expand your differentials, advocate for a patient that you really think needs it, or just to remind you that you are brave. Because you are. You are extraordinarily brave. And if that still doesn't convince you that one of us can help you, let me put it this way. The majority of us did an unthinkable by writing 22 lines on hot dogs, American cheese, and migraines.
And if that's not proof enough, I don't know what would be. So I'll say it once, my sweet family, congratulations. Be so proud of yourself because you did come so far. Go set your own pace and never look back. Or do, a time or two. Thank you so much, friends. I think worldly of you all, and I will always be on your team. And now the long-awaited for slideshow. We are going to get ready. You guys ready? Are you excited? Are you ready now? Okay, Judy's going to come up now and conclude things.
I am obviously not Judy. Hello, everyone. My name is Derek Holman Hicks, and I am a 2015 graduate of the PA program. I am excited to be here today and congratulate you and welcome you to Chatham's alumni community. There are about 1,500 PA alumni across the country who make differences in patients' lives every day. This community is excited to welcome you and support you to the next stages of your journey. I hope that you stay in touch with your classmates, keep in touch with your faculty, and keep us all up to date on all of your accomplishments. Also, don't forget the great preceptors that you have had over the past year. You can also give back at one point in time in a couple of years by being a preceptor. For now, celebrate your hard work. You did it. Congratulations, class of 2022, and welcome to the Alumni Association.
Well, thank you all so much for coming today. Congratulations again, class of 22. We have refreshments for all of you in the Welker Hall, which is directly behind this, not behind, but like the next building over. What I would like to do at this time is we will have the students stay in their, oh no, the students. It's not raining, right? Okay. Our plans would change midway if it would be raining. But the students are going to process out of the building. They are going to take a picture in front of the chapel outside. So if you all wouldn't mind, please staying in your seats until this, for about 5 or 10 minutes, we'll come in and let you know when it's okay to leave. We will definitely have these available to share with families. So I guess that's it. I just wanted to say thank you so much. Thank you.